Hello and welcome. You're listening to the American Made Marketplace. Thank you for downloading our podcast and joining us for a walk down our virtual Main Street. We survived recording our first episode, and we are happy to be your hosts again today. I'm Geraldine Bride, coming to you from Westport, Connecticut.
And I'm Maureen Linder, recording here in Doylestown in lovely Bucks County, Pennsylvania. We are sponsored by AnytownUSA.com, the first e-commerce site where buyers and sellers get together to make buying and selling American-made goods easy.
Finally. Plenty of great things are still made right here in America, and that's what this podcast is about. Telling the stories of the makers and sellers of those things. AnytownUSA.com makes it easy for people to find those products and buy them all in one place.
Yes, from jeans to boots, from wedding gifts to kid stuff, from jewelry to makeup, and every way to dress up your home and to care for your pets. Top quality and fair prices.
Handmade by craftsmen and women, or proudly made in an American factory. Whether you're looking for a unique item or a national brand, all items are made here in America. Whether you're selling or shopping or both, come visit us at AnytownUSA.com. Welcome to episode 2, or welcome back if you were with us for episode 1. You heard us in that episode focus on American-made clothing and speak to someone dedicated to handcrafting accessories for women here in the United States.
That was great. And I know, Geraldine, you're working on remaking your wardrobe to be more American-made. You had mentioned that way back in January. And as I buy new items, I'm also looking for clothing to bring into my wardrobe that's American-made. And I found Darielle to be such an inspiration.
I know. And since we started doing this, I've noticed that all of my favorite older clothes that I've held on to over time that are classics and wear like iron all have Made in USA labels in them.
Oh, really? Like what? You have some examples you can share?
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of them, but I have two great striped sort of crew neck long sleeve tops from, way back when J. Crew was new. And these things have got to be like 15 years old. And my daughter is horrified by that, but they are. But they do look brand new. And they're made in USA, and I love them. But I'm pretty sure they don't make at J. Crew or anything in the United States anymore, although I'm not sure about that.
I know what you mean. And many Americans know what you mean, because made in the USA clothes are often built to last, and 75% of Americans say they're higher quality. And as you know, the items on AnytownUSA.com in women's clothing are not just more interesting than the usual stuff I see at the mall, but they're also made to last and to last through multiple washings.
Oh, yeah, I know. I hate that. When you buy something new and you wash it and it starts coming apart at the seams already, that is just the worst.
But quality is not the whole story, you know. A lot of people, in fact 80%, also say that American goods are produced under better working conditions and better regulations than many foreign goods, so they're safer. And this especially matters with baby products.
And we certainly have sold a lot of baby gifts this year that are made in USA.
Well, as you know, Geraldine, I have two daughters, and when they were little, I was so fussy about what they wore. I just wanted everything to be so pure for them, like pure skincare products, pure clothes. Like, I just wanted everything to be perfect for them.
I remember your girls when they were little, and they were super adorable, and you were always such a pulled-together mom. And meanwhile, I had these two boys and one girl, and I always felt so crazed chasing the boys around, and there were your girls always looking perfect with their hair bows and adorable, and I always felt like, the crazy mom.
I don't think about you like that at all. That's so funny that you have that impression. I think that's because you remember them from birthday parties rather than after the soccer games on wet, muddy fields when they would come in with soggy, muddy shoes and everything else.
Well, that could be. But, everybody always thinks, their house is the crazy house or something, and everybody's children are always better at somebody else's house than at home, right?
Yeah,
but,
right.
But the one thing that is definitely true is your girls were adorable, and one thing that we definitely had in common back then was, we tried to keep the kids safe, and that hasn't changed. Today's moms are pretty much the same, and now we're just a couple of old moms trying to help those moms out.
Yeah, well, you know what? Your kids are absolutely adorable as well. And to any moms listening, I would encourage you, take a look at the labels on your baby's clothes, in their bibs, the wipes, whatever, and just get familiar with where they come from. If you see a product that's made in the USA, contact us and let us know about the brand. More likely, you're going to find that many of them are made outside the United States, but we really want to know about those who are made in the USA. So let us know.
Yes, and listeners, that's why we're trying to do the legwork for you here. Each week, we'll tell you about USA-made products, and that way you can dress your baby from their soft little, nice, sweet-smelling head to their little tiny toes and their nursery from top to bottom, all in products made in America.
So now it's time to introduce someone who's going to help us do just that, our amazing guest today. Since baby skin is very porous, she created an organic cotton clothing line for babies that would not only be safe for her children, but for all children who wear them. And she's also printed funny stuff on each of the baby's clothing. Really cute little images as well as funny little sayings, because she knows that new parents can always use a good laugh. So it's my pleasure to introduce Gwen Gardner of Simply Chickie, calling in today from Newport, Rhode Island. Welcome, Gwen.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be here.
Gwen, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, everybody loves Newport. I love Newport, especially because my husband and I went there for our first anniversary, which was, like a million years ago. And we've recently spent a lot of time there because my son just finished a year, it's called a postgraduate year, at a school in Narragansett, which is close by. And so every time we went to visit him, we would go over to Newport. And it's, so beautiful. How can you not? So that's why I've been spending time there. But of course, I wanted to start off by asking you, how did you get settled there? How long have you been there? And as someone who lives there all the time, so lucky to be there, what makes it special to you? Because I know to my boys, what makes it special to them is the auto museum. They love hitting that. But what makes it special to you?
Well, I've been here for 20 years now. I've moved here from Connecticut. And really, it's the ocean. I drive by the ocean every single day. We're also a foodie town. We have fabulous restaurants here. So there's always something new going on, new flavors. And of course, I have so many wonderful friends here. And there really is an entrepreneurial spirit, I feel, on the island here. Lots of really great people.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people don't think of it as an island, even though there's those, you have to take 2 bridges to get onto it, don't you?
Yes. And they're fabulous. They light up at night.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Well, Gwen, can you tell us about your business, what you do and how you learned to do it?
Well, I got into this right basically when my daughter was born. What happened was, 14 years ago, actually, I basically found out I was pregnant one day. I wasn't feeling well. I went to the doctor, found out I was pregnant. The next day, I actually found out that I had breast cancer. So it was really kind of quite a week. And I decided to kind of go organic in all ways possible. But I have a sense of humor. So I decided to put some funny sayings, on clothing that kept coming to mind. I grew up kind of an artist and painter and writer, and I went to school at Vermont College for Fine Arts, and I got my MFA in writing for children. So I always have a passion for writing. So I like to say that my canvas now happens to be T-shirts.
I have to say, one of my favorites of your funny little sayings is the just hatched on the baby clothes. It's so adorable.
That is a favorite.
Which is the best seller? Because I have to say my favorite is the one that says may contain peanut.
My number one seller has always been and continues to be the Inside Me I've Got poem. It's about 20 words. And I created it after I took a nap with my daughter. She was about 6 months old. I rolled over, had that soft little breath on my cheek, and I I was like, oh, world peace is possible. But
Oh.
then, as she's crawling around on the floor, I realized that there are other things inside of her. So that particular poem really came from the heart, and it's become my most popular one. It goes, inside me I've got world peace, two rainbows, light from four stars, green stuff, milk, some dog hair, and a raisin. And everyone that reads it says, oh my gosh, that's my grandchild, or that's my daughter, or it just resonates with so many people.
Yeah, that's a good one too. They're all wonderful. So tell us, how often do you refresh the items in your line, and how do you decide when it's time to bring on something new, and just how does that all work?
Well, I try to be inspired each season. And I do a couple of big shows. So in the fall and in January, February, I try to come out with, something new. And the inspiration is really my daughter, funny things that are happening, farmers markets. I drive a lot, so I will think of something. Like for instance, last summer, I do a farmers market, and there's a woman who does lemonade, fresh lemonade. So I started thinking of lemons and how wonderful they are and that they're squeezed. And then so I just start playing with ideas, and that's how I came up with I Get Squeezed a Lot, with some fun little lemons on the T-shirt. And actually, I just uploaded that to Anytown, USA.
Oh, wonderful. I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to go and check that out. What do you enjoy most about running your business?
Of course, the creative part, there's just a wonderful feeling that occurs when you come up with something. It kind of engages a different part of the brain. And so just that creative part is so, I just love it. It's so wonderful. But then I really enjoy like putting the packages together and really thinking about who is going to be receiving it. And so kind of the mundane quality that a lot of people think about related to packaging. I just love creating, putting that package together and thinking about the baby that's receiving it. So that's another fun part too.
I think that's so sweet. And I can't tell you how many people have sent us pictures of babies wearing your product after they bought it. It's almost like they're just so tickled by it and by their baby in the product. So we're sort of building a little mini gallery that the team has enjoyed, because it lifts everybody's spirits to see the babies in those cute things. So thank you. One last sort of official question, I guess I would say. Which we're asking everybody, and it's part of our values and our ethos at Anytown USA, and it goes like this. Why do you think it's important that people buy products that are made in America?
A couple of reasons. We're keeping it local, essentially, even though you think about the United States. We're keeping it local, so we're kind of helping the environment and staying connected, and really employing your neighbor. I mean, the person who takes the pictures of my products, she lives in Connecticut. The person who helps me with my web design lives in New Hampshire. My accountant, of course, is here in Newport. So, a lot of times we don't think about that it really is your next door neighbor almost that you're employing when you're made in the USA.
Thank you, Gwen, for joining us today. And for our listeners, you can find Simply Chickie products in Gwen's shop, filled with beautiful one-of-a-kind items in the kids category on anytownusa.com.
And I would add, Gwen, in so many ways, you are an inspiration to listen to. And we just can't bear to let you go, even though, we know your time is precious. But I'd like to ask you, could you join us to play a quick round of our new favorite game, which we call Guess Who's Made in the USA?
Yes, lovely.
Great. I'm glad you're happy to play. It's sort of fun, and we're having some fun with it with everybody. So the only one who doesn't seem to have much fun, because he has to come out from behind the producer role and straight onto audio roll is our dear magical producer, Brian. So I'm going to ask Brian to put down his pen and put on the headphones for a minute and come over here. So magical producer Brian, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Geraldine. I can't remember a time when I've ever been called magical, but I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you so much for having me be part of this program. And thank you, Gwen, for being a part of this program as well. I have to say that local connection, that community connection that you were talking about, that is so, so important in today's day and age. And it's so great to hear you say that.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. So we are going to play, like Geraldine said, our favorite new game, Guess Who's Made in the USA. Now, this is the game where our guests that come on the show guess if a famous brand, something that a lot of folks know and buy, they guess to see if it's made in the USA or not. Now, we're going to count 3 out of 5 correct answers a win. And this week, you're playing to win a donation to the Navy SEAL Foundation, wonderful organization that has honored our warriors and supported their families since the year 2000. So, you're ready to go?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to name a brand. You're going to let me know whether it's made in the USA or not. And believe it or not, this is harder than you think. And we're going with a baby theme today. So let's start out with our first brand, Pampers Diapers. Pampers Diapers, something that a lot of parents buy. What do you think? Made in the USA?
Yes.
Absolutely. Pennsylvania, in fact, for Pampers Diapers, which is just awesome. Okay, one correct answer. Number 2, Primo Euro Baby Bath.
Sounds tricky, but yes.
It is, in fact, made in America, Irvington, New Jersey. Number 3, the Honest Company Baby Wipes. You see these in stores all the time. The Honest Company Baby Wipes.
In fact, they are not.
Yes, they are indeed not made in the USA. They are made in Mexico. Okay, number 4, another iconic brand, Eddie Bauer. In this case, Eddie Bauer car seats. What do you think?
Yes.
You are absolutely correct. Columbus, Indiana, in fact, for Eddie Bauer car seats. All right, 5th one of the most iconic brands, Carter's Baby Clothes. Carter's Baby Clothes.
Not anymore. They used to be, but not anymore.
You're absolutely right. They're made in China now, they're made in Cambodia now, but not made in America. That's awesome. You were 5 for 5 today.
Wow.
And for the win, again, a donation going to the Navy SEAL Foundation. And, I just want to say what I love most about your products, they have tons of personality. I know you covered that a little with Maureen and Geraldine, but tons of personality. Congratulations on all your success. Thank you so much for being a part of this program.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Brian, and thank you, Gwen, for being such a wonderful guest today.
Thank you.
It's been fun talking about babies with you. I admit I love babies. I love holding them. I like buying clothes for them as gifts. I'm glad mine are grown up and they have their own lives now, but it's very fun to see your products, to know that they're organic and they make great gifts for babies. And that's it for our second episode. We hope you'll join us again for episode 3.
We'd love you to leave your comments on this episode on our Facebook page and follow us on Facebook at anytownusa.marketplace. And if you listened to this episode on iTunes and liked it, please leave a nice review and, am I begging too much, Maureen? And a nice rating on iTunes for us. Thank you.
And if you didn't like it, please don't leave a bad review. But you know what you could do? You could leave one of those emojis with the rolling eyeballs, because Geraldine and I got used to that when we had teenager, and we can handle that kind of bad review because it doesn't bother us at all.
That's true. You can also follow us, though, on Instagram at anytown_USA_.
And Twitter at anytown_USA_.
And of course, don't forget to visit anytownusa.com to support local American businesses. You're going to love it.
This episode was produced by us again, along with the incredible Brian Gibbons.
Till next time,
welcome home
to Anytown, USA,
the American-made marketplace.